Hello everyone, welcome back to another stream. I think, instead of being over here, I'm going to put myself over here. And we'll go with that. So what I'm doing is a little bit of animation again, as usual, so let's get on with things. I need to do entry 10 here, so it's to the left. What I'm trying to do is just get the facial expressions and stuff right for alphas here for entry 10, so that needs to be there and down as well. I like having these manual controls be as good as they are, so I can just keep track of everything easy. Right, that needs to go up there. And then the left more. I'll explain this in a moment when people come in, because I don't think people are in yet. Let's just do that. So we got... I think I have frame dropping on? Yes, so that's fine. That needs to go down now. So what we're doing is, I'm animating the way the alphas moves with the facial expressions, just so I can get entry 10 done, and then I can render that off, and then we've got the other bits to do of the True Lab, which includes the fight with Reaper Bird, and then we're almost done. So I can't wait for that. But we're shooting alphas from a different angle here. I've just got to get everything right. So it's a lot of tweaking around with the eyes and making sure the eyes track the correct areas. Hey Damon! I love that she has 4 eyes, 2 on her and 2 on her glasses. That was what the modeler did, but on my version in the actual animation you can see through, so it's like her eyes are kind of magnified by the glasses. I thought it was pretty funny. But yeah, the idea here is that the eyes are going to track where a hand is for this one bit of dialogue. And one thing that I do like in particular here is the whole thing of trying to track and make sure that when the head turns, the eyes are already kind of going in the right direction, because when you move your head, what happens is your eyes go first, then it's normally the rest of your head, or at least that's how I've kind of done it. So, by the time she's already looking this way, she's going to be turning her head, so it's like this. And then she's going to be looking at her other arm. I'll, like I said, I'll describe the dialogue in a moment, because it's actually pretty neat. But yeah, it's crazy, because it's all a bunch of stuff where you wouldn't think too much about it, but the best part of this process is actually getting it looking pretty natural. Especially when you just go through the timeline, because then you can see how it works. It's like... So you can already kind of get an idea of why I like this kind of stuff at the moment. I did a lot of this animation the other day doing like the body stuff. Normally what I'll do is I'll time how long it... Because I want to get this as close to I think I can with reasonable amounts of time it takes to do the voiceover. And then I only have to tweak little bits here and there, hopefully, for when I get the voices done. So at the moment, it's a case of just kind of giving a little bit of room for push and pull, just in case. So, normally I do the lip sync first. And then, do the body motion, and then we do the eyes and everything to make it pretty accurate and fit within the timeline, so this is going to be, hopefully, pretty cool. And it's shot from roughly about this angle. I've tried giving her a lot of movement, but the thing is earlier on in the True Lab sequence, she seems a little bit slow-mo, so I'm going to have to upgrade some of the motions for the earlier scenes, which isn't too bad, but we're almost done with it. That's so satisfying. Yeah, I really, really enjoy this kind of thing. Oh, it's even better with, like, animating cloth and stuff, like, where you're animating it by hand, because when you get the waviness of it just right, it's really cool. Like, for instance, here, I think what I'll do is, even though you might not see it from this angle, if I press down there and then bring it up slightly, what we're going to do is we're going to have our eyes track just to the length of our hand there, because we're going to see it from roughly about this side. Because I'll put it in the scene as well in a little bit. Now, she's going to... Yeah, she brings her hand across, so we need to track her hand with her eyes. Normally I'll have... another way of helping is having a camera attached to the actual head, so you can see where the camera's pointing. And then it kind of fills in and is like a stand-in for her eyes. Also, hope the audio is not too loud in the background. On my end, I have the music for the game pretty low. I don't know what it's like on your end. You might have to tell me. Ooh, let's try and lower that a little bit. Audio's fine. Okay, okay. I might just lower it myself anyway by about 2 decibels to 6 for the music audio. So I don't want it blasting too much, but let's see. Try and think. It's to the left. I keep having to remember which way is which because I'm facing in the opposite direction. So she needs to go this way. Her eyes need to just track this as best we can. And then it's that. So by the time she gets to here, she's going to be... Oh, crap. I put that there. By the time we get to this pose, it's going to be here and looking a little bit more down because the idea is she's trying to brush stuff off herself. And then we've got to change it up. So for instance, we do this, and then she's going to change to that side, so we need left side again. It's funny because I actually whipped the animation up pretty quickly, and I'm happy with how it's come out. I ended up just kind of trying to figure out how we'd do it, repeating the animation a couple of times in certain areas, but it doesn't look too bad. About there for this one, and we go... Let's go back a little bit. So it's... And then we get to about 46. You got skills if this is thrown together. I mean, I'm trying to practice a lot more. The idea is the one thing that I was really weak on when I did this kind of thing in college, like years ago, was I was weak at animations. And I've always been kind of weak at them, primarily because of the program I was using, but Blender just makes it a lot easier for me to kind of visualize stuff and then slowly build on it. So I'll do like a little bit of blocking out where I'll do like tweening between the poses. And then I'll block it out and give more movement for like the hands or the torso or whatever, just to kind of make it seem a little bit more natural. Oh. Come on now, so this is going to be that way. And then she's going to go to the right next, so I need right there, roughly. We go this way. And we'll do pupils down as well. We got... Oh, no. Bit too quick. Bit too quick. We cancel that there for a moment and just go... About... I need to... potentially have it just a little bit like that. Okay, so this is where it's going to go crazy, because I need it to kind of go left again a little bit. Gotta go. Because the idea is I want it to be tracking her hands as if she was looking at them. And then she's got to go back, so from there she's got to go right again. And then we got to track that again. That doesn't look too bad. Now I'm trying to think of where she ends up there. Oh, that's the end of the animation there, so we go... So after we've done that, we can track her eyes slowly back to the direction she's facing. So then we can go... From about there to about here. We'll raise her vision. And we'll have it go slightly to the right. And then what we'll do is we'll add the blinking in, and then we'll add her into the scene, and then might need to render it in a bit. I'm just gonna get this out. We're just like slowly stacking up here in terms of the way that we're doing this. Oh, dude. It's really satisfying just seeing it come together like that. Like, hang on, I'm saving that, and I'm looking at it without the wireframe on. It's in slow-mo, but it's better when we see it in real time properly. The thing is, without blinking, it looks terrible. So normally what I'll do is I'll do a couple of blinks and then throw them in at random points. Normally it's like a 1 followed by a 2. You'll see what I mean in a moment. So what we do is we get blink here. Dude, this is going to be so good because then I'm up to Reaper Bird after that. I just need to actually finish off doing stuff for Reaper Bird. Okay, so that's 1. And then we do a 2, which is just duplicated. Then a little bit of time between each other. Right, and then we just throw these in at random intervals. And we should have alphas good to go. Normally what I like doing is opening with 1. Primarily because it makes it look a little bit natural. I just don't like opening with a character looking very dawnless, as it were. If I duplicate that and put it here, we got a blink. And then she's gonna close her eyes at 38, so we can have like a blink. And then another one. The thing is, subconsciously, you don't think anything of this when you're doing it in real life until you realize that you blink a lot. But like, adding the blinks in really does add a lot of emotion that you otherwise wouldn't get. So I really can't stand it. Since I started animating, I can't stand a character just looking like this and not blinking. It just looks terrible once you notice it, or rather once you pick up on it. Like for instance, here we'll have another blink. It makes it look as if there's no life to the character. And then we've got... Let's do a double here. We've already done a couple. But what we do is we space them out a little bit. Because you don't blink all the time. But you do blink quite frequently. So you gotta have it so it's not too often. But just enough. More of a living creature, less Mark Zuckerberg, says Damon. Yeah. Right, so there now. Normally what I do is I don't leave it too long before there's another blink, so we do this. And then about there we have another one. Oh. Because the thing is, if you run the risk of it looking weird for even a moment if you don't have enough of it, so it's... hold balance between doing it just right and not doing it like every other second. I feel like I can hold off there a little bit and do another one there. So far we've got this. Now we'll do a double there. What I like to do normally is double is I use normally to kind of break things up, and it's also it stands out a lot. Like it's definitely natural putting two back to back, but I don't like repeating it too much. So put a single there. Put another double there. Now, we should be able to get away with ending the scene with one single. Primarily because it goes over. I always animate slightly over just in case I end up using that little bit of footage. Like I extend it a little bit. So now we've got, let's have a look at Alphys in and what will be entry 10. No, I think that one slightly goes, where is it? It's around here, it goes on slightly too long where she doesn't blink. And I'm like, Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just being too critical. Admittedly, I've been doing a lot of this recently where I'll jump in and I'll look at stuff and I'll be like, is that good enough? And then I'll backwards and forwards of myself and try and upgrade it. I don't want to blink in too much, so what we'll do is we'll try this out in a scene. Copy it, save it, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to put it into the actual one that I've got this set up for. So we'll do True Lab. And then for 10, she's going to be here, so I need it to face the other way now. Hang on. That's entry 7, so 10 is the... Okay, so she's going to be facing the opposite way this way. Rotate -180. And then, I've mentioned this before, but because Blender stores stuff in the buffer, what we can do is play around with that. Ooh. Am I already at... Yeah, I am there. So I need that to go to there. And then here is where we go paste. Don't know why that's not pasted in for some weird reason. Or has it? Ah, there we go. That should be entry 10 done now. For some strange reason, it's not pasted all of the frames in. So I guess I'm gonna have to get the frame data again from the buffer, which is really weird. Right, so grab this. Copy all of that, make sure I've saved it. Yep, that's all fine. Oh, I see why. I wasn't in pose mode. I wasn't in pose mode, so it's copied the wrong frame data from the buffer. Okay, there we go. Now I should just be able to paste that in. There we go. Yeah, there's all that frame data. I gotta see how many animations Alphys has at the moment, because it's a lot. Dude, 5 frames per second up here. That's rough. Okay. Yeah, 5 frames will be because of all the stuff that I have going on, because I have like almost 20,000 frames of animation in this, and because of all the shaders and everything else. Pretty nuts. And it might be, I'm trying to think, do I have any particles going off right now? No, they should be killed. Hopefully I don't have any particles going off. But then, yeah, what we've got here is the beginning, the animation for 10. Make sure I save it there. Make sure I take that frame data and delete it because it's stuff that I don't need. There we go. And then we should have, make sure I've got all these other frames set. I just realized I didn't do anything for the eyebrows, so I suppose. Let's see. Because her eyebrows remain the same for the entire time. Let's... Right, so. If I take the face, because we've got all the data for the face anyway. Try and see what controls I've got for the eyebrows. Okay, so I got sad, nope. Brows angry? Let's have a look. She has the drawn on eyebrows. No, they're just floating cartoon style, but... Oh, okay, so yeah, it does. It curves them in slightly if I do that. And then, oh, eyelid angry. So, surprise will raise them, right? Yeah. I don't have controls for just anything else than that, so maybe... The problem is, if I do any more controls, I've then got to use them in both versions of the models. That's a problem. Crap. So I can't update anything in this part of the animation, unfortunately. Which means... Let's try... Okay, from about here, we're going to do brows angry just for a moment. It's not going to be like super angry, but enough that it's supposed to show frustration. And then it's, let's check. Gotta go to the Undertale wiki and find entry 10. True Lab. Entry 10. Where are we at here? There we go. It's just so I know what I'm doing this to. Okay, so about here onwards, we'll make the eyebrows not angry again. Because the idea is she's meant to look frustrated in that couple of frames there. That could use a little bit of speeding up there. What's the 500? Okay. About there, that should be at 0.5. And then we've got, let's see. Okay, so for this, do a little bit of angry again, I think. Go from here, and we go. About there. 20 frames of animation. Just gotta give it that more stern look. Not evil, just stern. And then here we'll make it a little bit more angry. Because she's frustrated. About there. And then we go... Nope. That moment where I'm accidentally pressing things on my stream here. There we go. So we'll do that to about there. By here, we wanted to just have this stern face. Mainly because she's just sick of it at this point. Like, she's been dealing with a load of stuff at the moment, and she just needs a little bit of a break. She's not been getting that, she's under stress, so visibly frustrated. It's like it's really not her day. Trying to think whether I should bring the eyelids down as well. Let's see. Eyelids angry? Let's... Nah, too much. Too much, I think. Like, there's being well, there's being frustrated at your work, and then there's being what looks like really evil. Which I don't want, so let's just copy that across. She's a typical wagey. No. I feel her pain. She's trying to do something for the good of everybody, but it's just not working out how she would like, so... It's causing frustration, she's getting annoyed. You saw the little parlor tricks that I'm doing with the hands there, but... Stuff's really not there. We'll show you in a moment. She's got so much in her hands right now because of all the stuff she has to interact with in the True Lab sequence. So what's going to happen is when I turn the shaders on now, it's going to lag out for a bit. And we're going to eventually have the shaders correct themselves and then we can see what's going on. Like, she doesn't come across as massively frustrated in the audio version that I've heard people do of this bit. Where it's like... You can kind of hear it a little bit. Especially with the text as well. Because the way she passes it off. It's like, whatever, I'm done with this, you know. Come on. All these shaders have to load in and it takes forever. Okay, so a bit of context. Have I still got that light attached to a hand there? Yes, I have. That's not good. Okay, so this light is one that I use throughout all the sequences. And I've got to make sure when she's holding the walkie-talkie, she has it. Or rather, the dictaphone. And when she's not holding it, she doesn't have it. So we go, boop, and then we turn this off. There we go. So now when she moves her hand, I just have to do the camera angle stuff for this as well. This is going to be interesting. I might do another tracking camera for it. Okay, that's cool. What we're looking at here is she's doing a log or an entry. She's recording that, and the dictaphone that I've given her that we see in many other scenes that she holds while she more or less takes notes to herself. We've got that on the side there while she's trying to get rid of stuff off her. I'm going to put like flower seeds all over her. She's dabbing. Should just do like a pose where she's just dabbing. But yeah, she's trying to get flower seeds off her that are stuck on her. That's why she's doing all of this, you know, like checking over her overalls first. And then she's going to be brushing them off. So I've got to model those in a little bit. And then put those in the scene. That's going to be fun. Either way, this doesn't look too bad so far. So I just need to do entry 10 cam. Camera doesn't have any constraints, so... Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open another window. Normally I have multiple windows open anyway in multiple different screens just so I can keep track of this. I may end up jumping screen for a moment. Whoop. Yep, there we go. So what I've done is I've put OBS on another screen just so I can see where the hell I am. And then I'm going to use my other window, which you guys can't see at the moment because of Blender not, or the OBS not showing it. Is the other window specifically shows me exactly what I'm going to be seeing when I'm doing the recording. Or rather when I'm positioning the camera. So I can position the camera in one screen and see what it's going to be showing me in the other. Which is really cool. So what we'll do is we'll try and get the... Normally what I like doing is showing as much of the scene as possible. And the background and stuff. Just so that the viewer gets to see loads of stuff going on. So we're gonna show her from about this angle. And we'll look up a little bit. Normally looking up at something is supposed to imply like some sort of menacing or something. So we'll go from there. And then let's see where we're up to. I might actually do multiple shots for this one, not so sure right now. Let's just zoom in on her when she's doing this kind of stuff. Or I can just do one really slow camera pass thing. Hang on. You can hear Jenny in the background, she's sneezing her head off and then trying to keep it down on stream and then be like, I'm sorry. It's like, dude, you don't have to be. Okay, so we got this going on. I might even put a another light behind her there. Okay, so if I zoom this in a little bit, you'll see this camera movement in a little bit when I go through this properly. Damon says get well soon. I think she's just got a bit of the sniffles right now, but...
No.
She says thank you though, Damon. Okay, so we get a little bit of zoom in here. It's going to be really low frames because I'm scrubbing through individual frames here, but... The idea is I'm going to show... Out here, I'm going to show this from different angles. 601, I need the... Hang on. Hard scrubbing through stuff when it lags a little bit, but... Then we show this from the other side. Normally I don't flip around with the camera in these, but because the animation is dynamic in terms of the way that it works, like it's pretty emotive, I want to show it off from both sides. See how this looks. I need that to be about... There's going to be a flower in the way in a moment if I go too far here. I've also got to make sure I don't show the terminal in the background too much yet. Or the entry. Sorry. The entry machine. Screen. Whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we go... I know this is on your screen that you're seeing now. It's not showing too much that's interesting. But trust me when I say it will in a little bit. What I'm doing is I'm scrubbing through on the other window that I've got open that I mentioned. And I'm actually watching it all in first person when you're seeing, like, the overhead shot of it. It says, nah, man, it's all really interesting. I'm glad you find it interesting, you know. I always worry about this kind of thing, because I take it for granted, you know, with what I'm able to do. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll do this today, because I know I can do it. Or, you know, I feel pretty confident with it, and never really think about how other people kind of think about it, so I'm happy to hear that people are interested, you know. Oh, that's... I need... Oh, no. Hang on. It's because I've tried doing a camera track from her arm here. It needs to be... It needs to be a little bit slower. Up there. How many frames is that? Okay, so it's maybe a couple of seconds. I hope that's not too fast. The only way we're going to find out is by rendering it off, but... hopefully we'll be okay. I might actually switch this up and make it more dynamic. Hang on. So if I try and... Actually, I just realized I'll switch over the window stuff. Hang on. Can I have my other window in here that's currently visible or what? There we go. So this is what I'm seeing on the other window. So I'll just put that there for you guys for a moment. So this is what I'm seeing in the other window, and I'm like, okay, I'll track this. But that is like a mini window, and it was OBS. Rename Blender Mini window. So this is supposed to be what we're going to be seeing at the end, but I want to try and track it and make it look interesting for the viewer. So we got to starting out over from this close-up, then goes to this one. I just realized there's no in-between there. We could use an in-between because I've got the TV room. And then we got entry 7, which is pretty cool. That's a quick track. Okay, yeah, I need something else here. I can't just go to entry 10 straight away. I'm going to need a little bit of walking around. So I figure what I do is I get the character walking down here and then we trigger 10. Like, we do 7 to do a transition. The idea is it's snapshots. You're seeing... It's like looking back into what's happened and then going forwards into what is happening all the time whenever we reach one of these entries. So, what I need is I'll have the character moving into this area and having these on. And then I'll do entry 10, which means I need to move entry 10 a little bit further away. But first off, I need these 2 entries to be complete as well. That one's entry 7. Because if it doesn't work in terms of how it's structured, it's just going to be terrible. So what I need is, what is this? Entry 10. 10. And then I need to write up this entry with roughly the same sort of setup here. So we'll get rid of 7 for the moment, and then I can just rewrite this, and it's gonna look pretty cool. And I realize you guys can't see it because I'm in the small window. Let's just get rid of the small window for the moment. Okay, so this is 7. But I've got to get rid of that, so we go edit mode. And then we can just get rid of all of this. It takes a while. It's because I'm doing it with like the crazy shaders on. Up there? Oh, there we go. Entry 10. Right, let's write this up. So we got oh crap. Is it? Oh, there we go. Just making sure I get this exactly how it should be from the wiki. I can copy and paste it, but oh. Ooh, foreshadowing. Okay, so that's entry number 10. Kevin says, I find this super interesting, but I might be in the minority. Maybe you should put a gif of colourful keys gangling around the corner to keep people's interest. Oh, you mean like a cat toy or something? Like Jiggle Jangle. It's like if I end up rendering this, tonight, I'll probably end up doing, you know, another Dead or Alive stream where I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll just go on Dead or Alive while it's rendering. That's normally a funny one to do. That catches people's attention. Love the way we've got the real-time mirrors here as well. They're so cool. If a little bit expensive. The weird thing that I get about this at the moment, it's like I see a lot of people commenting in the Discord and being like, oh, sweet, I don't know anything about Undertale, but this is interesting, and I'm like, oh, so this is everybody's first exposure to this, or or rather, this is another way of finding out about it? Okay. Oh, wow. I just realized, because of the mini window, I'm not shown. It overlapped there. I was worried about me looking like my avatar was going to be breaking its neck on camera when it wasn't. Okay, so I need those two there. And what I also need is the lighting. This is going to be really cool, because the lighting I've got for each one of these terminals is really cool. I like the way it's set up. I just need to copy that. The way this works is whenever a terminal's been activated, or looks like it's been activated by a person, normally I turn the light on to sort of imply that, and it stays on in that area. So like later on we've got this thing going on here where what I normally do is I put the light at the very top, and we just about drag it there, so it's going to add more to the scene now. Like in general, that makes the scene brighter. Like I've seen a bunch of people saying, the place is dark, why is it so dark? It's like, well, it's not been used in ages. It's running on low power by the time that we see it. Like some of the other scenes I have done a little bit darker, mainly to give that sinister tone. But it's that whole thing of the entire place has a sinister vibe anyway, so it's kind of not going too dark, but I do like the way that the light kind of really highlights things in certain areas. Like, this is going to be real cool, seeing this area for Reaper Bird. Because Reaper Bird's then got to be put in here in a little bit. It took me a while to get why it's so dark. It doesn't bother me anymore. This entire section, this hallway, I admittedly need to make it brighter. The reason why it's a little bit darker at the moment is because I don't have a certain light turned on that helps the atmosphere. But yeah, it's certain parts of it at the beginning are supposed to be kind of a little bit dark and dingy, but not too dark. And then obviously later on when it's not being used or when things are going wrong, that's when it's meant to be darker to kind of imply things are going wrong or there's a little bit of something strange going on. Plus, like I said, it looks better to have, like when I've got the terminals on and everything, or the entry parts, it's neat to have the light kind of pick up the slack with the feeling or the mood of the scene, you know, because like this sets it up as being kind of strange, but it gives that little bit of glow and light to the scene that you like. A bit like with Alphys's scene here, like in the background we've got the light there, but I'm trying to think, don't want to show off too much. Like for instance here, where Alphys is like freaking out, like I could have just had her in the dark and everything, but having the phone illuminate her and stuff is really cool, and I like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go with that for the entire thing, because it really brings the mood down into that more serious sort of depressive tone, you know. Let's see, where am I up to here? Ah, that's beforehand. What's on a screensaver? That's Undyne. That's one of the other characters that she likes. Deliberately put it on as a little reference. Where is it? Yellow card area. DT return camera. Is it that one? No. Oh, where is it? Where is she at? Entry 20? Yeah, so what it did was, as part of the storyline, she likes one of the other characters. So I deliberately went and found artwork. I've even put the credits there for the artist. I deliberately put it on a phone and photoshopped it to make it look like it's a phone background. Because it was either that or one of her favorite anime characters, and I was like, well, she's already got some of that around, so makes sense that she's got this other character on a phone. Then again, I might not. The thing is, it's like, I'm half tempted to change that now, thinking about it, primarily because at this part during the story, That's not yeah, that's not legit. That's gonna have to change. Honestly, Damon, thanks for bringing that up, because I'm now going to change that to our anime one instead. Because it makes no sense with the story at this point. Because that's later on in the timeline. I got to keep all kinds of notes of tracks like that. Anime. Let's try. Fair enough, makes sense to change it. Yeah, no, I do like I said before, in terms of credits and stuff, I always give everybody credits. I've even started going back and retroactively crediting people that I've looked at the artwork for, even if it's not shown off in the actual animation. I've just kind of credited them anyway. Let's see. Who's that by? Might be able to use that. I'm gonna have to go look at some of the other artwork to do this and then credit people. Because I need to change stuff, and because I don't want to show off too much, I'll call it there, and I shall talk to you guys next time. Anyway, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you for sticking around with me. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!